Metal Valleys is a festival. We'll host shows in, around Philly, other parts of Pennsylvania, up to New York, down to Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Jersey. Our goal is I want the crowd to feel like they got their money's worth by the second band. And then we got 3 more after that. My name is Brian. I'm part of the team that runs New Metal Values, a traveling tribute festival of new metal bands.
Roach Koach
podcast.
hot all day, every
Hey, it's Matt from the Roach Koach podcast. This episode, super special, super unique. You just saw him. It's Brian from New Metal Values. He joined me to do a couple of the games that we do online, and it ended up being a much longer conversation about new metal values, what new metal means to him, and a really, really great example of the power of music to connect people even when they're meeting for the first time. So enjoy this conversation, and we'll catch you on the next one. Keep it rolling, baby. So I want to hear the story because I'm very interested in it, because we've had experiences with Louisville Loves New Metal, but they do it like a conglomeration. They kind of put up the horn for Louisville artists, and they say, we're going to do the event, and it's rotating everything. So I want to hear the story of New Metal Values.
Yeah, so New Metal Valleys is a festival. It's a festival of tribute bands. I play guitar in a Stained tribute called Mud Shovel, and I play guitar in a Limp Bizkit tribute called Full Nelson. And we'll host shows in, around Philly, other parts of Pennsylvania, up to New York, down to Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Jersey, hoping to get up north as far as we can and stuff. But we'll book a lineup of typically 4 or 5 new metal tribute bands, whether it's Slipknot, Korn, Deftones, Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle, list goes on and on, whatever we can find, System of a Down. And the amount of tribute bands that are out there and available, we're just always able to have just this unbelievably stacked lineup of things that would have never happened. Like this past weekend, we had a Linkin Park tribute, Limp Bizkit, Korn, and System of a Down. And if those were real, the real bands, it would have been like a $300-$400 concert ticket. And obviously, even just timing would have never happened. You can't go see some of those bands anymore.
No.
Well, I guess you can see Linkin
Can't
Park.
see a lot of them in their original
right
kind of like
yeah. Or like System of a Down took how many years off? Stain took how many years off? We typically hit some towns that they haven't seen a touring act in a decade, at all, just because it's just a smaller town, or it's Amish country, or they're maybe an hour from Philadelphia, where if we want to see a concert, we got to go to Philadelphia. It's gonna take us hour and a half to get there. Then we got to park. It's gonna cost us a whole weekend. We need a hotel.
If you've ever been on the Schuylkill, F that. I don't want to be on that ever.
Nope.
My wife spent a lot of time. Her parents lived out there, in Doylestown.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Plumsteadville. So familiar. That is.
Yeah.
It's an hour away from being an hour away to being a half an hour away once you actually get there.
Yep. And then once you're there, it takes you 25 minutes to find a parking spot. You don't know if it's a shady spot. You're handing cash to somebody you think works at the lot.
You're hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're able to give these lineups that, either never happened, could have never happened, will never happen. And it just gives people a night out. And we're not putting on a, like most of the guys don't wear costumes or anything like that. Like our Slipknot tribute that we book once in a while, they do the full getup. You have to. It's like doing a Kiss tribute without makeup. It's
right.
sacrilege.
You can't do it. Yeah.
But like I play guitar in a Limp Bizkit tribute, and I don't wear costumes or anything like that. I've never had anybody talk smack to me after a show. Never had keyboard trolls on Instagram or Facebook.
Wes wears costumes.
Yeah, who didn't wear costumes? Mike Smith. He got away with it. I can get away with it.
I'm not, you guess what? I'm not Wes Borland.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you. I hate to address the elephant in the room, We're not
You'll
Limp
never believe
Bizkit.
this. That's not John Otto.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not Sam Rivers. That's not
yeah,
DJ Lethal. That's not
yeah, and
Fred
guess
Durst.
what? You paid $15 to get in. I'm not painting my face.
I'm not, I'm not burning the door on paint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're lucky if I play it correctly. I mean, w not to talk us down too much, like, there's a lot of bands that we book in these bills that just do an incredible job, just guys that are just somehow just born sounding pretty damn similar to Jonathan Davis or, pretty damn similar to Surge or something like that, and, our goal is I want the crowd to feel like they got their money's worth by the 2nd band, and then we got 3 more after that, so
Wow, man.
it's
So you
always
get
a
this is,
killer time.
and I apologize. Like I looked, but I don't know. It didn't sink in exactly how deep this went. And I
Mhm.
appreciate the clarity on it. And I apologize for my ill preparedness
Oh, you're fine.
because and it's like, I love, I, there is a work ethic to new metal that we never address on the show, but
Yeah.
we address it in a way that we just say road dogs. Like
Okay.
we take a look at a band like Nonpoint,
Mhm.
and it's just like Nonpoint's touring right now.
Yeah.
And I could talk to you in 12 months and I could
Still
say
still
Nonpoint is touring right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like there is a lot of just,
Yeah.
no, we go out there, we do the
Yeah.
show, we connect with
Yep.
the fans, we give the people what they want. And
Yeah.
I love that you're serving like communities that, yeah, I mean, I lived in Shelby Township outside
Yeah.
of Detroit.
Okay.
No, if nobody came to Shelby Township,
Yeah.
and if somebody did, I guarantee you it's sold out.
Yeah. 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 And, like, some of these places, like, and they all have nice venues. We're not playing dive bars. So I don't know, when they built these venues, what were they expecting? Or you know what, maybe it's me being sheltered and I don't know that town very well.
Mhm.
Maybe they get decent names, but it's just not new metal stuff. Maybe they get some country artists or something like that that,
Yeah.
do pretty well. Or maybe they get some singer-songwriters or pop guys or something like that. Maybe they do get some big names, but, I anytime one of these bands that I love announces a tour, I check and see where they're playing, obviously near me, but also Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, surrounding areas, Ohio. I wanna see what kind of places they're playing there, and, they're typically playing, nice spots. We're typically playing nice spots, not as nice as them, but it's always a good time. We always bring out a good crowd. We advertise the hell out of it. So my business partner Jeff Schmidt, he's just an absolute wizard with social media, any of the content, any of the artwork. He whips up videos for all the other bands that are playing. And part of that too is because we really do want to lay into the, like, family values aspect of those
Yes.
shows back in the day because they really did an incredible job of building each other up. What's that saying? "Rising tide
Tide
raises all"
raises all ships. You got
whatever
it.
those things. So we
Whatever that horse shit.
whatever Shakespeare said that one thing. No. So we wanna bring as much of that into these shows as possible, and it's like, all right, we're really good friends with this long list of incredible musicians that, like, they don't know they don't know the difference between Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator or something like that. Like,
Right.
we we can be there to help them with those kinds of things, and, we're running all the promo for them. We're running all of the R&D of, what Instagram ad metrics work and what doesn't, what our hashtag's still cool. Is this still working? Or collab post still the way to go? All of that kind of stuff. So we can kind of help them out with that. And it just makes for a more natural show for the musicians too, because they can kind of just show up and do what they're good at. They don't need to do 6 to 8 weeks of legwork for a show. It's the reason that festivals exist.
Yeah.
The Ozfests, the Mayhem Fest, what was the Summer Sanitarium, like
Yeah.
all those kinds of things. It was just like, let's just roll out the red carpet, bring in some, incredible musicians And, if you build it, they will come. You just
And
bring the crowds
the great thing as an artist is that when you appreciate it even more.
out.
And if you lose your appreciation for it, it's easy to get perspective when it's just, do you know how fucking hard this is? Do you like, I like to get real all the,
Yeah.
like, this is like,
Mm-hmm.
people paid money and they're going to hear you play songs.
Yeah.
So pretty fucking please, with sugar
Yeah.
on top. Play
Yeah.
the goddamn songs. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and get along with everybody and
Right?
appreciate the moment that we're in and show up on time and be professional. And like when
Yeah.
you know that you've got it locked together
Yep.
and you're putting on a consistent show with great audience turnout, it becomes easier to be like, you're a band we want to do business with. You're a band we want to do business with. You're like,
Yep.
it's easier to be like, everybody here is locked in, and that's what
Yeah.
we saw in Louisville. That's what you're
Yep.
talking about, because being able to perform it can be very selfish, but really it's service. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting to do the thing that you love to do. But if I hear somebody nail
Mhm.
us, you nail break stuff,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be jumping. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, I'm there. Like you've
Yeah.
given me that experience, and that means something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm soapboxy at the moment, but like
No, I love it because I'm on the same soapbox right with you. You're preaching to the choir, man. Like it comes down to literally everything. And we've been really, really lucky with the bands that we've been working with. Really never had any disagreements with anybody or anything.
great.
But like we tell them up front, if you're playing this show, you're using this backline drum kit. I'm really sorry that you spent $3,000 on your drum kit and you want to play it. The crowd doesn't care that
No,
it's the same drum kit, and I don't want half-hour changeovers between bands
you
because people are gonna
can't.
lose momentum, people are gonna get tired, they're gonna go home. This is for them. It's not for you. You wanna play your nice
Right.
drums? They're at home waiting for you.
Yeah.
I wanna be playing huge amps. I'm not bringing huge amps. We need to do changeovers quickly. I'm just using modelers and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta sound like Mike Mushog and Wes Borland. Yeah, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So
I mean,
that's
I'll do my
one
best
trailer
with my
of gear.
patches and stuff, but no one in that crowd wants to stand there for 30 minutes when I switch from,
While you figure it
diesels
out.
to mesas and,
Yeah.
rolling jazz chorus. No.
No, I have this concept for I do social media outside of this, and I call it like when you're unknown and you're starting up and you're building something, you have to borrow fame. Like
Yep.
you have to kind of attach yourself to somebody else's thing, but also remember that it's their thing.
Yeah.
It's and for the audience that like we had a successful Corn video, but it's like me talking about Blind.
Yeah.
Blind's doing the heavy lifting. It's not me.
Right.
It's like it's me presenting Blind in a way that you remember it, and it's this is what I love about this song. And that's the same thing I would imagine for a cover artist was like, I love this too. Like you aren't playing Stain songs if you're just like Stain. I don't. You feel something. You have an affection for affection for them.
Yeah. And the coolest thing, one of my favorite things just in life is when people tell me a story about when they first heard a band or when they first heard a song or when they tell me what nuances they really liked about it. Because most times it's something that I didn't notice. Your Blind video, you pointed out the very last note of Fieldy's melody almost sounds like the word doom. I've heard Blind probably 50 times since I watched your video, and I hear the word doom every single time, and it gives me a little pep in my step.
Yeah.
It gives me a little something. It moves. I've never noticed it. I've been listening to that song for the majority of my life. Never noticed that it sounds like the word doom. I love it. I don't know. I just hang my hat on that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, this guy gets it. Now I get it. I like what he liked. That we're buddies, and I never met him. This is cool.
Our parasocial relationship has begun.
Yeah, it's just there's just those kinds of things, and I've played original music and played gigs with that kind of stuff before, but like the tribute thing, we get done and we're just hanging out at the bar watching the other bands and stuff, and people come up and they're like, I love that song, and I can be like, yeah, me too. It's just, you don't have to act modest. It's like, these aren't my songs. That like
Right.
that elephant in the room, he left. We're not We're not pretending to be anything. We're not, we don't have to act humble. We don't have to, sugarcoat it. Like, we don't have to do anything. People can just say, "Oh, that song means a lot to me." And you can be like, "Yeah, me too." You don't have to
That's beautiful,
say,
man.
"Oh, thanks." You don't have to do
That gave
all
me
of
chill.
that.
Like,
Yes, I
that's
didn't write this.
beautiful.
I like it
because,
too.
but that's the power of music, is
Yeah.
that there's a reason we like this. There's a reason I want to play these songs, and there's a
Right.
reason you come to these shows and you want to
Yeah.
hear the songs.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
it's just like and nostalgia hits so hard with everybody, even if people don't realize it. Nostalgia hits them so hard, right in the feels. That, like, it's in every part. That's why people like remake movies and stuff, because
Yeah.
it just reminds you of, like, your childhood, simpler times before. I don't
Before
wanna get into
before there was life,
before any of this
that's
bullshit
new
that we're
life.
dealing with. It's just, it brings you back to those days, and it just, it's, even darker stuff like Stained. People listen to that stuff, and they come up to us all the time, and they're like, "Oh man, yeah, that got me through a hard time. It was, my buddy's favorite song, and he didn't get through his hard times. And when you guys played it, I got choked up and stuff." And we can have like a bromance, you can bond with strangers over that kind of stuff. And, it's therapeutic for people. And I just always just loved concerts. And if we can go to a town that doesn't get like a ton of metal shows or something like that, we
Yeah.
give them a metal show. And it's just, you just see smiles on people's faces, and they're just enjoying a night out.
Yeah.
It's, and our target demographic, I thought it was people, 30 to 45, but we're playing all these all ages shows, and there's 10 and 12-year-old kids in the front row singing every word to Linkin Park. And it's, "Yeah, Dad, good job bringing your kid to this." Like, this is
Yeah.
like, it's just, it's every aspect of it. The nostalgia, the, bonding between parents and kids, bringing their kids out to an all ages show, showing lineups that couldn't have happened, building up bands that really just, they're just dope musicians that just don't know the password of their Instagram or something, like, and being able to just get crowds out and have such a good time, because I've played so many empty shows as an original
Oh, yeah.
band and stuff, and being able to, maybe this is my midlife crisis. I don't know. Who cares? We're having fun. It's just a couple grown ass men playing somebody else's music, just having a blast.
That's the best part, though. That
Yeah, just
and
unity.
it's a connection. There's a connection to the songs, the not putting on the airs part, and just being able to relax, take a step back, and just relax a minute. And it's like, yeah, that song rips, or that song, Well, I think about the songs that get me through, or the songs that have, and if I hear them, and it doesn't really matter who plays them.
Yeah,
it's like, you got it. It's just like, it's right there. I can relax a little bit, and it's, and I've connected with somebody. Well, like, everybody that I've talked to, this is the first time we're meeting, and it's like, we got a shorthand. Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know, because I know, like, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like music is one of the only art forms that really does that easily.
Yeah.
And nu metal as a genre, and I've said this on almost every call, but it's important to call out, like, I don't, at the end of the day, after 9 years of doing Roach Koach, there are similarities certainly between bands.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about nu metal is that it was just a marketing term because they didn't know what else to call anything.
Right.
Because I don't think Korn sounds like Limp Bizkit. And I certainly don't think Limp Bizkit sounds like Deftones. And I don't think Deftones really sounds like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And all these bands, they were very much their own thing, doing their own thing. And they had one umbrella put over them, and it was like, that was for them, but for us, it was just like, and again, this is not to say that there's no good new music, because I firmly believe that there's
too
tons,
much,
almost, right? Like,
I don't have enough time in the day. Yeah,
people send us stuff all the time, and it's just like, have you heard blank 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 band? And I'm just like, buddy, I wish I could tell you I have.
Yeah.
I wish I could lie to you, but
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. I
Mhm.
haven't heard them. I don't know them. Are they
Yeah.
good?
Yeah. So,
What's the
send
song that I
me the
should hear?
one song I should check out first, please, that
Please?
kind of thing.
I mean, I can go with whatever the highest ranked one is, but that might
Yeah.
not really be the one.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but I do think that that is, like, a key element to new metal is that, yeah, and all of those bands have their, very obvious differences, but it's just but somehow they coined a term that was perfect enough to make me be like, "What other new metal bands should I check
right.
out?" Whatever you like, whether you don't like labels or whether, I know Deftones doesn't consider themselves
No.
new metal or Incubus back in the day hated whatever. I don't care. But
Mhm.
sure worked, sure
Right.
sure made it easy for me to ask my friends what else to check out. They whatever, who cares? It and when you tell people like, "Oh yeah, we're, you know, traveling new metal tribute show," they're never like, "So, does
What's
that
that?
mean"
Right.
like, they know exactly who's gonna be there.
What's the next event? When do you have it booked?
We typically take the summers off, just everything gets difficult, scheduling gets difficult, gigs get difficult, just even musicians and their availability, just, we're an hour and a half from beaches and stuff like that, and we've got guys in the bands with beach houses, and they just disappear between Memorial Day and Labor Day and stuff. So we'll kick up again in the fall, and we've got some big things in motion for the fall that
Oh
can't announce
man.
just yet. But
Well, please reach out to us when those plans become clear.
oh
Love
yeah,
to have you back on the show. Talk about that.
absolutely,
That would be great. I have to ask because I'm always interested.
yeah.
How did you find Roach Koach? Did we
I
show
don't
up
know.
in your feed
I
or?
don't know. I don't know. The Instagram gods just served you on a silver platter, and I was just like, "This guy's awesome." Like,
I love it.
it's just yeah, your content's killer. Because I mean, like, obviously we got shows are, pretty regular, but we try and space them out a decent amount so that we can do a really good job. I wanna be able to knock it out of the park. Like, I pretty much
Absolutely.
there's there's tribute bands playing all over the place, and they're all great, and some of them, they play with us and stuff, but to really do it well you need like a 6-week lead up of getting, the advertisements out and getting some content out and getting the word out across, and then building some anticipation and some excitement. It's almost I want New Metal Values to be like the Super Bowl of new metal tribute shows. Like there's shows all over the place, but this one's just got a little extra sauce on top. You know what I mean? Like just there's a little bit more going on behind the scenes to get people out and to get people just amped up and excited about it and stuff. So in between shows, we need something to post or share just so people don't forget about us and stuff. And I stumble on a
Right.
gold mine like your content, and I'm just like, I know who would like this, all 1,700 of our followers. So, let's just
I love it. No, we're
pepper these
appreciative.
in whenever we can, just to
Yeah.
keep people thinking about us. And it's cool, just spreading the word. It's that family values thing. Just like you guys are doing incredible things. Like I've only listened to 1% of your, podcast episodes, but I know that they're good.
Uh,
I was nervous that you're gonna grill me about, some real deep cut bands that
well,
for some reason weren't on my radar in the day.
we are going to move into the
Yeah,
games portion.
dude, as much as I love that content, though, it scares the shit out of me.
I love that you. I
Don't
love that
go
you were
easy
just
on
like,
me. Go hard.
that's what
Go
you
hard.
said. You was like going, and that's that East Coast spirit that I
Yeah.
was expecting.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
stump me. Make me regret some of the things I've said. Make me think that I want to come
no,
back on and redeem myself. I shouldn't have said that guy. Give me
I
guitar
love
players.
it.
I'll do singers. I'll do drummers. I'll do bass. Whatever you want to
I
do.
got you. I got you. I've got.
Lay it on thick.
We got but before we go, this is like
Yeah.
you were seeing somebody who's going to ask you a question that's going to help me drive the listings.
Oh.
So my question is, what is your new metal history? How did you get turned on to it? If it was always there in your life, when did you first become aware of it? What's kind of like your new metal journey, as it were?
Yeah. So it was probably a pretty standard type of thing. I had a brother, 2 years older than me that had some friends that were into it, and, next thing I know, he's coming home with, the first Korn album, and I was just like, "Oh my god, what is this?" And then, probably, just music videos, just seeing the Faith video and just being like, "What's that DJ doing?" This is sick, that kind of thing.
The
But
get the fuck up
probably
moment is so
oh,
good. It's so
dude,
good.
yeah. But all of that was nothing compared to going to Family Values '99 as a 14-year-old kid and just losing my shit. I can close my eyes and picture it like it was 10 minutes ago. Stained opened. They come out. I don't think half the place knew who they were. I don't know if Dysfunction was even out yet.
Wow, I
And
don't know. I don't think so. I mean, if
I don't know.
it was like right then.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, depending on what month it was, but stage was pitch black. You see the cherry of Aaron's cigarette from 1,000 miles away. Spotlight hits Mike and he starts suffocate. And I swear to God, the next day I started playing guitar. That was like
Whoa.
they moved that boulder of me becoming just a new metal kid and a musician. So like to play guitar in a Stain tribute, we open a lot of shows with Suffocate, and the excitement of the whole day leading up to the show is obviously huge, but as soon as I get on stage and I'm holding my guitar and I got my fingers where they need to be for the beginning of that song, I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'm pretending to be this guy.
Let Mushak
Yeah.
cook.
Yeah, I'm playing this
Mushak cook.
the dopest riff of one note. I remember just thinking like, I could do that. Sure enough, there's more to it, but
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
like some people, well,
Yeah.
like I think of a song like Break Stuff, right?
Oh.
Break Stuff is not an incredibly intricate song,
No.
but I'll tell you what, the way Westmoreland makes Break Stuff sound makes it sound like he wrote a freaking symphony.
Yeah.
And it's because I feel it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's beauty in simplicity, and just being able to recognize something and to, because I'm sure there was some kind of thought process that went into it. That's why, we went from the glam stuff of the 80s to the grunge stuff of the 90s. You had to do something different, like there had to have been some kind of decision where they were just like, let's keep this simple and just keep it slamming. And and there's way heavier songs than Break Stuff, but how come every day I open Instagram there's a video of Break Stuff and there's a trillion people bouncing like a sea of ants or something? It's just like people it just has that aura of, oh, this is the song where
because there's not a moment, and it honestly, Break Stuff is my next Korn style video, like breaking down Break Stuff.
Yeah,
that's probably what I should call it.
That's perfect. Write that down.
I am writing that down. Like this is content creation here, right here. Breaking down Break Stuff. Everybody wants to overcomplicate everything.
Yeah.
Make it harder than it is. Like we need to create something new that's never been done before.
Yeah.
The brilliance of Limp Bizkit is like, have you ever had a bad day?
Yeah. Who has?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of bad days.
A day.
Things don't go my way often.
Yeah.
And
I got a toddler. I want to break things a lot. This morning, just chaos. Took us 20 minutes to get down the stairs. I'd be lucky if we brushed a third of his teeth. Just everything was difficult. And I was just like, at your wit's end. We get in the car to go to daycare, and we're backing out of the driveway, and he goes, "Daddy, put on Tool." I was just like,
okay,
all forgiven, little man.
All forgiven.
Here's the pot.
All right. We're gonna play a couple games here.
All right.
Nothing too
sweating.
serious.
I'm nervous.
Nothing too serious. No worries about it. We're gonna play a game that's called "What's Your Favorite?" I'm gonna give you classic. Straight up classic new metal albums.
Okay.
And you just got to tell me.
Right.
Yep. And you just got to tell me which one stays and which one goes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And then the one that stays will battle the next contender.
Okay.
So Here we go. So straight up and down. The first one, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park,
Okay.
or Animosity by Seven Dust.
I'll go Hybrid Theory.
All right. Animosity is
Mhm.
it's got this undercurrent
Yep.
where people are just like, yeah, that's a great album. That
Yeah.
is a great
Oh,
album.
yeah, of course.
Hybrid
but-
Theory, Slipknot, Iowa.
Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory, LD50, Mudvayne.
LD50. LD50, dude, Mudvayne. Oh God, Mudvayne. Don't get me started on Mudvayne. I don't care what the next, unless the next question's dysfunction.
Get ready. Static X, Wisconsin Death Trip, or LD50, Mudvayne.
LD50.
Wow. LD50 or Korn self-titled, the first record.
LD50.
LD50 or Stained Dysfunction.
How do I hang up this call? Nostalgia alone, and like I said, the reason I'm a musician will stick with Dysfunction, but I bet that I had LD50 in my record player longer than Dysfunction.
I respect that. I get that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Dysfunction.
Dysfunction or Disturb the Sickness?
Dysfunction.
I think I know how the rest of this is going to play out, but we're still going to play the game.
Let's see what happens.
We're going to say Dysfunction or White Pony, Deftones.
That's a closer. That's closer to being a head scratcher, but still Dysfunction.
Okay. Dysfunction, Toxicity, System of a Down.
Dysfunction.
And Dysfunction, Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish.
Ah, that's close. Oh, that's real close. That's real close. Dysfunction.
There it is. Dysfunction's your winner.
Mm-hmm. If you had said significant other, I would have hung up on you. that would have been real. I don't think I could have answered that. That would have been, yeah, between Dysfunction, LD50, and significant other. Like, I don't think I listened to. Those are probably my top 3 albums of that whole era. I just did not stop listening to those 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it about LD50 that keeps you into it?
I think it was just so, the coolest thing of nu metal is that, there's so many differences between everything. But I think that just really struck me as like, these guys are doing something like more different than different. Like, these are hard working dudes. Like, the drums on that album, just like all over the place. The bass on that album's disgusting. Chad has, 2 complex vocal parts going at the same damn time. And even just when he's doing something simple, he's got one in this ear, one in that ear, one word's up here, one word's over here. They put work into that album. And yeah, that album gives me chills to this day. That thing is disgusting.
There's something about that record that so my nu metal history is I hated it at the time because I was a real pretentious prick that didn't enjoy fun.
Okay.
And going back now, like when we started the podcast, I was just going to be the producer, and my friend Lauren, the co-host, and Jenny, who was the co-host at the time, were like, we want to talk about nu metal. And through the course of the show, it was like, I've got this whole thing all wrong. I'm the asshole. Like, very much. This is a me problem, not the music problem. And when we got to LD50 and we got to the Shape of Things to Come, or the second record, which I can't remember.
End of All Things to Come.
The End of All Things. Yeah. When I heard LD50, I was blown away because all I'd heard was Dig. And it was like, oh, this is way deeper than Dig. Yeah. This is way, way, way deeper than Dig. And then when I watch the bassist Ryan, it was like, this guy's special.
He's a bad man.
That guy is special. Like, he is no joke. And I've seen him, like, when he got on stage with Korn to cover for Fieldy. It was just like, it was so cool. And I was like, this guy can do anything.
Yeah.
Like he has
Dude's
zero
nasty.
limits.
He is nasty, nasty. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next up, I'm going to let you blind rank we're going to go.
Oh, I've heard you do this. This makes me nervous.
Yep. So this is a blind ranking. So I'm going to give you
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
We're going to give you 5 underappreciated new metal albums. Doesn't mean
Okay.
that they're unknown. I'm not giving you like,
Yeah.
Simon Says, which, you might know, but like
No.
these are just underappreciated albums.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 5.
Okay.
Once you fill a spot, the spot is filled and it can't go. So
All right.
So it's not like
One's the best, 5's the worst.
one's the best, 5's the worst. But really, I mean, all
Yeah.
of these are good albums.
Yeah.
There's not going to be not
Right.
going to be a problem. All right, so here we go. The first album, which spot is going to be filled by Cold Chamber?
5. I could not get in the cold chamber.
Right away, 5 spot Cold Chamber
Yeah.
locked in.
Mm.
Snot, Get Some.
I'm gonna play it conservative and say 3.
Okay.
Good album, but I'm thinking you're gonna have some good ones in there.
American Head Charge, The Art of War.
I'll put that at. I think I can confidently put that at 2. That was a good
I
album.
like that.
Yeah.
40 Below Summer, Invitation to the Dance.
I'll go 4th. I couldn't really. I didn't pick up what they were putting down.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. Our number 1 at this point, and for me, it's a great number 1, but I don't know for you. Wisconsin Death Trip, Static X.
I don't think I'm not upset about that. No, that's a fun album. Yeah.
It's a great list. It's a great list.
Yeah.
We put
Yeah.
you against the wall.
Yeah.
I
like that
appreciate you leaving the one spot open just because it's
Yeah.
it's gamble. It's a gamble no matter what.
Why not? Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else that you would like to say before I stop recording? I don't want to just cut it raw.
I would say thank you for having me on. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the dream alive.
Metal's back, baby.
It's back. But did it ever,
Did it ever go away?
Did it ever go away?
Nah, it didn't go away.
Korn didn't take any time off. Slipknot didn't take any time off.
I think it's a good point.
I don't think it ever went away. It's back. It is.
It's back.
It's
I mean,
back.
it's definitely
more,
back.
It's more back than
back.
it was not. But it was never gone.
It's like it was just in another room, and it came back to the main room.
Yeah. The list of active bands got small for a minute.
Yes.
So it's back to full force, but it never went away.